the concept of aggregation. In our video of the cosmic egg, we explained that the fundamental building block of the entire universe is the cosmic egg. The Indian philosopher Canada gave it the alternative name, Atum. Let us imagine that in the beginning there are only a few types of atom. The red atom displayed red properties, the green atom displayed green properties, the blue atom displayed blue properties, and so on. Somewhat like the carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen atoms we know of today. All were swimming about in a sort of spiritual soup, broadcasting signals of what they were. And then, by an act of design, some green atoms were attracted to the red atoms, and they met up, and one green atom formed a bond with two red atoms. Like an oxygen atom found two hydrogen atoms. But the result was something completely novel and new in its behaviour. So unlike red and green's behaviour, the impression was given that it was a new atom, whereas really it was just a group of atoms with new functions. Much like the compound water exhibits completely different behaviour to the hydrogen and oxygen atoms of which it was formed. We can see that the attractive forces that bind them together have formed an aggregate, and that aggregate has behaviour unlike anything experienced before. In fact, it becomes a new building block. Meanwhile, there are still green and red atoms around, because they too have their uses, just fewer of them. Maybe this process happens again, but an even more complex aggregate is formed from four atoms of different sorts bonded together and exhibiting completely new behaviour. So our soup of chaos now contains two aggregates and several non-aggregates all swimming about together. Now let us move on a few million years, and we find that there's been considerable aggregation. And this time, aggregates have been made from aggregates, creating very complex crystalline structures with, again, exceptionally novel and complex behaviour. Another million years, and we are now into extremely complex functionality and structure. So complex we can't show it anymore, but I'm sure you get the idea. Every time a new aggregate has been created, more functionality has been added, but the functions are new and belong to the new whole, and all the atoms of which it was a part now exhibit that behaviour, unless they are forced to leave the structure, so the attraction dissolves. And the atom leaves, or is maybe even repulsed, and becomes its old self again. So really, with only one actual atom, once it is given a name, it acts like its name. And it may be clustered into very tight little crystalline structures by very strong attractive forces, almost like the scales on a fish, and we think of it as solid. Or maybe The forces of attraction are a bit weaker, and it appears to be a liquid. Or so weak, the resulting named entity is a gas and becomes transparent. But all these bonds look like a matrix at this level, where all the processing takes place in the atom with its functions, and the bonds provide the necessary communication links. Creation, destruction, love, and hate. The Chain, Fleetwood Mac. Listen to the wind blow, watch the sun rise, running in the shadows, damn your love, damn your lies, and if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain. Listen to the wind blow. Down comes the night, running in the shadows. Damn your love, damn your lies. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain.